December 1999. A chief newspaper editor in Lahore receives a cryptic letter. It's signed by a rich businessman named Javed Iqbal. The letter reads, "I've killed over 100 children, all boys, and placed their bodies in acid-filled drums. In terms of expense, including the acid, it cost me 120 rupees to erase each victim." Javed was the sixth child born to a family of 10 and is the son of a wealthy businessman and trader named Muhammad Ali Mughal. Now, growing up, Javed was spoiled and developed poor spending habits and went on to spend a lot of his time examining and mingling with underage boys. Now, many in the town dub him the boy hunter because he's the type of person to stop whatever he's doing in order to fulfill his barbaric desires. He'll even resort to drastic measures in order to captivate and lure boys into his ring. Now he discovers that the most successful approach is to go through children's magazines and communicate with boys to become pen pals. He later makes a list of boys that he finds attractive and spends thousands of rupees to spoil them with gifts such as tickets, perfume, and coins. Now, Javed's family members catch on to his strange habits. However, he prevents them from speaking out or interfering in any sort of way. Now, in late 1990, Javed received a local accusation after a boy's father claimed that Javed sodomized his son. Now, since police are unable to arrest Javed, they instead detain his father and brother for 7 days. On the 8th day, however, one of Javed's boys is captured, which frantically causes him to surrender in an attempt to set the boy free. Now, even though the video just started, I just wanted to say it's honestly insane how Javed wouldn't take any action to release his own father and brother, but he would take any necessary action to get one of his boys back. Now, for example, while Javed was growing up, his parents were trying to arrange his marriage, and one day he shocks everyone when he chooses a bride. Now, unsurprisingly, it was the older sister of one of his boys. Due to this, the boy can never escape Javed's clutches. Now, he then arranges that his younger sister marries one of his boys, leading people to call him an evil genius. Soon, Javed's entire life is then devoted to luring underage boys. He repeatedly throws money on the floor of an arcade that he rented, keeping a close watch on the boy who takes it. Now he then announces that there is a thief among them, and soon searches the boys until he's found the culprit. That particular boy is then taken to a different room where the improbable happens. When the locals of the town hear of the news, they tell their kids not to visit the arcade. Now in response to this, Javed opens a gym and soon an aquarium, even opening a school that's called Sunnyside, which ultimately fails because nobody would send their kids there. Now you're probably thinking, since everyone knows Javed's sadistic intentions, why he hasn't been arrested yet? Well, that's because Javed was a rich, educated person at the time, who normally cooperates with the authorities, and even invests some of his money in a local magazine where he details the brave acts of police officers. Now soon, in 1993, Javed's father Muhammad passes away, leaving behind millions of rupees in fortune. Javed uses the money to build a mansion consisting of a pool in his backyard and 4 different cars. Later, he sells the mansion and moves to a different town where the barbaric process repeats itself. Soon, Javed opens a game store. However, in September of 1998, he and his employees get brutally assaulted in the store. This leaves Javed with major damage to his skull and was unconscious at a hospital for about 3 weeks. At first, police classify the incident as a robbery. However, multiple employees step forward to expose Javed's previous crimes. When Javed was later given bail, none of his family members wanted to pay for it, and as a result, law enforcement sold Javed's cars, mansion, and game store to pay the bail. And once Javed discovers this, he is absolutely infuriated. After this event, and a previous incident where he was assaulted by police, this sent Javed's killing spree in full swing during May of 1999. The letter sent to a local newspaper, which includes a 32-page journal, depict his detailed confession to the crimes. In the confession, He states that he violently touched and killed precisely 100 boys between the ages of 6 and 16, and later discarded their bodies in barrels of hydrochloric acid. Shortly after this, police raid Javad's house in order to uncover any pieces of evidence that support these allegations. Authorities then initiate the most substantial manhunt in Pakistan's history. Unfortunately, they're not able to seize Javad until he turns himself in on December 30th, 1999. Now, once authorities have custody of him, he's put on trial and is sentenced to death. The judge confirms, "You will be strangled to death in front of the parents whose children you killed. Your body will then be cut 100 pieces and put in acid, the same way you killed the children." A week prior to his execution, however, Javad is found dead in his cell, presumably from suicide. And I know what everyone else is thinking. Javad did not come face to face with justice. However, we need to ask ourselves, would we really think that a victim's family would watch their killer die in the same way their own kids were murdered? And are we really satisfied in the way that Javad was killed? Let's say the killer took the life of one of your siblings. How would you feel then? Let me know in the comments down below, and thank you for watching.